It's not 1. It's not 3, right? So it's either 2 or 4. It's gotta be 4. Because why would you use wireless? Anything there. Acceptable error rate in general terms? Okay. Sure. What is the role of a virtual network function in network function virtualization? I just I just swapped the words around. NFV architecture? Is it network function virtualization? Okay. So what is the role of virtual network function in network function virtualization? It would be I guess this one. Which package is preferred over NetTools for most of the NetStat functionality? Which package is preferred over NetTools? IP Route 2? A cybersecurity analyst is investigating a potential data exfiltration incident on a corporate network. Identify any current or recent connections with NetStat command should the analyst use to gather the necessary information. I don't know, AN? Okay. Classless notation, was it signify? Under 1%, sorry, in general terms. What is a default probe message used by the traceroute command on Windows? Because it's ICMP on Windows for traceroute and it's UDP on Linux for traceroute. What is the difference between tailgating and piggybacking? What is a key feature of performance traffic logs? There's a primary DNS server zone. Isn't this single mode fiber for both? I think that's crazy, but apparently it's because it refers to like long distances within the building, and you would want to err on the side of caution in regard to whether or not you're using SMF or MMF. If you don't know the exact distance inside of a building, but you do know it's going to be long, if that makes sense. A misconfigured firewall potentially show that increases security risks. Troubleshooting connectivity in the network, the engineer suspects that there might be a problem with the routing of packets to a specific destination. Decides to analyze IPv4 datagram headers of packets being sent to that destination. Which field in the IPv4 datagram header should the engineer examine to determine the destination of the packets? How are the components of the name structured? Isn't it a series of attribute value pairs? Which of the following best describes the major infrastructure of the internet? What does an SD-WAN use to provision the fastest or most reliable transport? Software-defined wide area network. Which are typically supported by different transceivers. During troubleshooting, you find that the router is not receiving routing protocol updates from its neighbors. Not receiving routing protocol updates. What should you check first? An engineer uses a type of network adapter to connect a fiber link to a router. Fits into an optical interface on a layer 3 Ethernet router. Of the choices, which layer 1 implementation does the engineer utilize? Uses a type of network adapter. Media converter? What is the primary difference between dynamic learning and static configuration? Just pretty obvious, that one. Context over FTP over explicit TLS. Which command is used to encrypt the data connection for actual file transfers after upgrading an unsecured connection to a secure one? Oh. I could be wrong. Is it prot? I remember prot, baby. Answer that one. What do you suspect if you cannot ping a local host in the error's destination unreachable? Unreachable? Whoops. If you can't ping a local host? It's over! Okay. I remember there being one where it was talking about how... I remember there being one where this is the answer, but I forget exactly which one it was. And I guess it's not this one, so it's an incorrect IP address or net mask in the IP configuration. Whoopsie daisy. Under what condition is link aggregation considered to provide full transparency? Redundancy. Actually, wasn't I going to go over just the ones that I was still learning according to this? Yeah, select these 221. Select. Ooh. Select. Learn. What? Let's go. Okay. This one is going to be a stateful inspection firewall. I just remember the shape of that question. That's probably a bad habit. What is the recommended AP power setting relative to the weakest client power? Oh God. . It's over. Okay, I kind of remembered 2/3. What's it called when a system's clock begins to be off by a few seconds or a few minutes? Isn't it time drift? Why is IP spoofing ineffective for maintaining a two-way connection, two-way communication on an on-path attack? For 4G and 5G devices to connect to the network. That'd be a SIM card. I remember finding that one silly because I didn't know what they meant by the network. Like, it could be a Wi-Fi network, and it just happens to be mentioning whatever. Oh, this one. God, I got this one yesterday. Purpose of a T1 timer? In which of the following tables does a NAT router store port numbers and their associated private address? Isn't that an ARP table? Translation table. I didn't even read the other answers. Yeah, so 2/3 and translation table. I remember choosing that exact answer in the past. And then being like, right, end systems makes more sense. Implement a security feature. In all honesty, I meant to click on root guard, but that also would have been wrong. I accidentally pressed 4, I meant to press 2. Really silly. I think that the answer might be malicious attack. I really don't think that's correct, but you know. Again, super silly. Are these randomized? Oh, right, because when it says the first address, it's not referring to the address that ends in 1, it's referring to the address that ends in 0, which is the network address. I was thinking it was the address that starts with 1 because this is first, like 1, but it's not. Kind of a trick question. My immediate inclination is to say this one, but knowing that all of these ones are like ones that I've consistently gotten wrong, like all of these questions are sorted to be ones I've consistently gotten incorrect, I would assume it actually might not be this one. But I don't know why it wouldn't be. During an audit of external DNS records. Is it type NS because you're looking for name server stuff? Dude, how did I get this one wrong? Okay, I guess my inclination was correct. I think that's very strange. Why did I consistently get that wrong? Just an audit log generally record. I remember this one really annoying me. Isn't it like... It was something stupid like performance metrics or something. I don't know. Success, fail. I mean, I'm only used to audit log in like the in the way Discord uses it, and that's not how Discord uses it. So, when performing subnet calculations, it's not 2. Oh, 1 and 3 are the same. No, 1 and 4. Oh, well, I mean 1 and 4 are the same. 4? Okay. Your company is planning to upgrade its data center to improve network efficiency and support SDN. From transitioning to a spine and leaf topology. reduced need for manual configuration of network paths. I see. Customer edge. Whoops. ST. Same IP address to multiple interfaces. That would be anycast. I see. And then that would be type MX. I don't know how I got that one wrong. Reduced need of manual configuration, customer edge, not Soho, and then anycast. Which, why is it anycast? Same IP address to send to multiple interfaces. Anycast is the right answer because it literally lets you give the same IP address to multiple servers in different locations. When someone sends traffic to that IP, the network automatically routes them to whichever server is the closest or most available. It's super common for things like DNS and CDNs. You want users to hit whatever server's nearest to them, but don't want to give them different IPs. Sure. What? Oh. I just didn't read the question properly. Dude, it's over. Okay. I just didn't read it right. I was being silly. Um, what should they try next? Well, they probably wouldn't have a loopback address if a physical connection wasn't there. So I'm gonna go for default gateway's IP address, yeah. Isn't... Okay. That makes sense. Yeah, hi Ravi. Are you having an awesome day? Are you having an awesome day or a bad horrible day? What? It's over. What? That sucks. I'm sorry. Rafi, do you know InputNet? They do they make Helium, my web browser, and they also make Cobalt, the video downloader. Do you know about this? It was Wacko. I mean, it's Wacko and another guy. It's like, there's currently two of us, one of which is Wacko, you know? Ooh, Wacko on X the Everything app. Did you, they have their own, I was learning about BGP, and I just put this, I just put two and two together. They have their own BGP autonomous system. Like, look, I didn't know what this was. InputNet, right? But you look at this, it's totally a link. It's totally a link to their autonomous system. They have like an autonomous system with their own like IPv4 address block. Like, is it like they have like a public IPv4 address block and like a autonomous system? Isn't that crazy? Like a BGP autonomous system. Isn't that awesome? It's really good for redundancy. Like you don't have to depend as much on ISP infrastructure. No, it's I don't know enough about www2. I just know it sometimes shows up. I'm not sure. BGP in particular is like the way different larger networks communicate with each other. Like, and by larger network, I mean like an ISP is in control of like an IPv4 address block, right? And so with BGP, an ISP would like have their IPv4 address block communicate with other IPv4 address blocks. And so, and then they use BGP to communicate between the two and like communicate their different routers together. And of course, inside of like a larger like enterprise network, you would also use BGP, but it's a different thing called iBGP. But it's interesting because Input has their own, they have their own autonomous system. Like they have their own BGP autonomous system, which is really good for redundancy because it doesn't depend as much on ISP networks. And it's pretty expensive. This is like probably like $5,000 a month or something. Pretty crazy. Yes, they have their own address block. That's what that would mean. I believe that's what that would mean. I'm pretty sure. I'm like I'm like 70% sure that's what that means. Right now I'm going over all of the questions that I've consistently gotten wrong. BGP is foreign to me, so I don't even know what I'm saying. To be fair, I think it's like I have like 2% more information than you. There's so much to know about BGP that I've been looking into it for like a couple days, and I have maybe 1 or 2% more info than you do. So it's not, you know, the gap isn't massive in knowledge. But yeah, that's why I'm getting so many of these wrong. It's because it's ones I've gotten wrong consistently. Of a screening firewall and a screened subnet. I used to hate networking. I've been running my Minecraft server for like 7 years, and one of my least favorite parts was like having to deal with stupid networking garbage. But since I've been, you know, as I've been pursuing, you know, more formal education in this regard, it's actually gotten a lot more interesting and cool. And I actually don't hate networking anymore, which is really cool, because I was a little worried about like pursuing a job in IT because I knew how much of it is like just networking stuff, and I was like, but I hate networking. But it turns out I don't hate networking. Like once you learn just enough about it to like be dangerous, it like becomes a lot of fun. Like if you're using like it's kind of like if you're using like a Linux terminal and you don't really know how things work, like you don't really know how to use bash, it's like it can be a pretty infuriating experience because you don't know any of the commands. But like once you do know the commands, it's like a lot of fun because you could just like do stuff like way more effectively than you can through a graphical user interface. So it's just stuff like that, you know. With a screening firewall. Okay, to restrict traffic on the external public interface. Oh, you know what? I have my, That's true. There's also, hold on. Yeah, exactly. Like job listings on a website are a pretty good sign. Job listing websites are kind of a like a schemaz as far as I know. Like, um, I don't know. It's kind of over for job seeking websites. Like as far as I know, if you really want to get like a pretty good job, like you would have to know someone at that company, which is like, I think it sounds a lot more difficult than it is. Like you can just go to events, you know. But and of course, you know, I'm probably making it sound easier than it is. It's probably somewhere in between. But there's also stuff like at least for America, there's stuff like Jobs Now, and they have like a pretty good way of like consistently contacting companies on behalf of for at least like software jobs, and just like stuff like that. You know, there's a lot of like ways to get jobs. You know, maybe this is pretty. Maybe this is a bad thing to say, but I feel like a lot of people who can't really get jobs, they might just need to get more qualified. Like, a lot of these people, I may have complained about this. Does it only do US based? Yeah, it does. For Jobs Now, it does. But I'm sure there's something. There's some sort of equivalent for the Netherlands. Um, why does your school want to kick you out? Are your grades not good? It's a coding school. I see. Why did they want to kick you out? Oh, I see. That sucks. Is there like a thing you can do? Like can you prove your worth in this way? What is happening? The people that are supposed to guide me through the process of preparing me for job seeking haven't been cooperative with me either. Like they replaced my job coach, but then didn't do weekly check-ins, and they blame me for not reaching out. I see. Why did they replace your job coach? Did they give like a public reason for that? That does seem like a pretty shitty situation, though. I was gonna search something. What was I gonna search? Okay, wait. A good signal strength. This one is. I remember this one being because she was on leave or something. I see. That really sucks. I'm sorry. I remember this one being really silly because you would expect it to be like minus 30 dBm because that would be like a really good signal strength. But it's actually saying like a good signal strength, like something that's not perfect. And so there's something like in the middle, like you have to do a middle. Is it 65? Okay. I already had a 9-month education in that school, but the classes are so low quality. Most of the teachers are just students that have really shitty PowerPoints. I see. Okay. And one of them was the biggest. I see. Why? Why were they mean? Is it root set primary? Okay, it's spanning tree VLAN 1 root primary. And of course he failed me despite some other group's project being just as half-baked. That sucks. Is RIP a router information protocol? Routing information protocol. I see. What happens when a router receives an update that includes... Oh god, this one. Yeah. And then, polish to a higher standard because I thought it was referring to angled physical contact. Then I got stuck into a nut of demotivation because I failed the 42 school, which was my dream. Man. When I feel like, you know, that does seem like a pretty bad situation, and this does sound like a... Have you tried talking to someone about it? Like, is there someone at the school you can speak to about this? Or will they not take you in good faith? SVIs are using. Yeah, screening firewall. Yeah, the coach, but they seem the same person who made the decision to say I wasn't fit for the school. What makes it seem like that? I see. What would have helped? A dossier? I see, okay. I know you talk about how you consume American media, but it's always a little surprising to me, like just how expansive your vocabulary is, because I wouldn't have pulled out dossier there. At least that's how it seems. That's fair. I mean, I don't know your I don't know your experience, but you should keep in mind to like keep your own biases in check, because I feel like nobody's acting in like bad faith. You know, that would be weird. It's a Dutch word too. Oh, like the word dossier is Dutch? Oh, like it's a word in Dutch? I see. Is there like a list? Okay. Wow. There's so many English words of Dutch origin. Coleslaw. Do they have coleslaw in the Netherlands? Oh, its place of origin is the Netherlands. Okay. Dude. Did they have coleslaw in the Netherlands? Okay, I need to read this thing about screen subnets really fast. Stampot? What? Is this awesome? A screen subnet uses two firewalls placed on either side of the perimeter network zone. The edge firewall restricts traffic. The screen subnet uses two firewalls. Okay, I'll look this up. Do I need to allow something? Is it KYMCDN? Yes, it is. Oh wow, we're getting out country balls. Wow, that's awesome. Okay, I must read this. It's about our history of colonization. I mean, most countries, a lot of European countries do have that. The Dutch ate their prime minister. What? Okay, Rafi, it's all up, but I do need to read this thing about screen subnet, so I'm closing the chat for a tiny bit. Sorry. Two different security configurations must be enabled. A screen subnet uses two firewalls placed on either side of the perimeter network zone. The edge firewall restricts traffic on the external/public interface and allows permitted traffic to the hosts on the perimeter zone subnet. The edge firewall can be referred to as the screening firewall or router. The internal firewall filters communications between hosts in the perimeter and hosts on the LAN. The firewall is often described as the choke firewall. A choke point? This purposely narrow gateway. Oh, I know what a choke point is. A perimeter network can be established using one router firewall appliance with 3 network interfaces, referred to as triple homed. Because I do remember the term DMZ being used, and I think it was actually used in reference to a screened subnet, but I could be wrong. Okay. Okay, and so what is it? A screen subnet uses 2 firewalls placed on either side of the perimeter network zone. Okay. On either side? Sure. There's a perimeter and there's a network zone in the perimeter. The edge firewall restricts traffic on the external public interface and allows traffic to the hosts in the perimeter zone subnet. The edge firewall could be referred to as the screening firewall. Okay, I think I understand this. I'm opening chat again. Yes, I'm so good at distracting you. Well, you know, you are a very distracting individual. In a good way. Oh god, root primary? A network administrator. You know what they say. What do they say? IPv6 network for a company. company requires 100 subnets. Attention is all you need. That's funny. Wow, it's like the DeepMind paper. That's awesome. What is the most appropriate subnet prefix length the administrator should use to accommodate the company's requirements? I remember it being... I remember thinking it was 56, but it ended up being like 60 or something. But I'm gonna go for 56. Okay, it was 56. Which OSI model layer is responsible for guaranteeing on an alternate timeline it'd be a comedian or something. Yeah, you could do crowd work. Guaranteeing reliable message delivery. Transport. Maximum allowed insertion loss for Cat5e at 100 megahertz. I don't know. Maximum allowed. Yeah, okay. Which of the following best describes packet filtering firewalls? Maximum asymmetric link speed of VDSL over 300 meters. Isn't VDSL, doesn't it just stand for like very high speed DSL or something? Maximum asymmetric link speed. Because it says asymmetric. Which of the following IP address ranges is specifically set aside for use in documentations and examples? It's over. What if it's vertical I'm pretty sure it's not vertical DSL. Yeah, very high speed digital subscriber line. Man, back when you needed to have modems. I remember when we had a modem. Now I just have a stupid Xfinity Soho router. What do we have? An Xfinity like XM6 or something? Oh, like the, hold on, I can actually set it to, I think if I set it to, because there's normal latency, but then there's low latency, but then there's ultra low latency, and I'm pretty sure if I were to set it to ultra low latency, it wouldn't, I think you can only do like 1080p at ultra low latency, and I don't want to do like scaling or anything. YouTube has its own stream buffer? I guess they probably do, right? Something fun is when you're watching a YouTube premiere, you can put it on ×2 speed and like be the first one to finish the video, so that's pretty cool. Oh, we have this one. Yeah, great minds think alike. Yo, we have this stupid router. We have this stupid router where you can't even do like DHCP reservations. I hate this thing, dude. This thing is evil. This is an evil... Dude. I hate this thing. Stupid. So, they don't even have a web interface anymore. Look at this. Look, you have to get the app. Isn't that crazy? They don't have a web interface. You have to get the app. And you have to, like, configure on the app. So whenever I have to do, like, port forwarding, I walk up to my dad. I'm like, Dad, can I use your phone? Dad, can I use your phone? I have to use the... I have to configure the router. It's so crazy. Makes 0 sense. At which layer of the OSI model does a hub operate? You would think it's data link layer because a lot of switches are at the data link layer, but it's actually at the physical layer because all it does is port mirroring. And then it's 192.0.2.0. That's probably true, Rafi. I know that's why they don't allow static DHCP reservations. Like, it's because you can do it on their business plans where you can do things like static DHCP reservation. But the solution there is just to use your own router, but we don't do that. Which IPv6 auto configuration method allows a host to generate a link local address? And is it Slack? What type of transmission is available with the contention-based MAC system used by Ethernet? It's over. This study guide has been really useful. Ethernet is a multiple access area network, which means that the available communications capacity is shared between the nodes that are connected to the same media. Media access control refers to the methods of a network. Refers to methods. Wow. Shout out Regedit. That's funny. Media access control refers to the methods. That's probably true. Refers to the methods and network technology uses to determine when nodes can communicate on shared media and to deal with possible problems, such as two devices attempting to communicate simultaneously. Ethernet uses a contention-based MAC system. Each network node is connected to the same media. Connected to the same media is in the same collision domain. When two nodes transmit at the same time, the signals are said to collide and neither signal can reach its destination. This means that they must be resent, reducing available bandwidth. The collisions become more frequent as more nodes are added, and consequently, the effective data rate is reduced. The Ethernet protocol governing contention and media access is called Carrier-Sense Multiple Access with Collision Detection, CSMACD. A collision is the state when a signal is present on an interface's transmit and receive line simultaneously. A collision is the state when a signal is present on an interface's transmit and receive line simultaneously. Sure. On detecting a collision, the node broadcasts a jam signal. Each node that was attempting to use the media then awaits for a random period before attempting to transmit again. That's true, Rafi. Though, I don't know. I mean, when was this? Maybe they asked ChatGPT, which is probably scraped from a forum article. The collision detection mechanism means that only half duplex transmission is possible. Sure, this means that a node can transmit or receive, but it cannot do both at the same time. In the 10-base-T wireling topology, each node is cabled to an Ethernet hub. The hub repeats incoming signals to each connected node. Consequently, every host connected to the same hub is within the same collision domain. The 10-base-T standard dates from 1990. You're very unlikely to find it deployed to any networks. Then why is it asking me? Why is it asking me about this if I'm very unlikely to find it deployed? Well, that's very nice of you, Rafi. Could you tell me if this reason why I got it wrong is correct? Oh wow, so like, it's like everything on the flowchart leads to it being a complement no matter what. What is the name of CSMACD? What type of thing is it? Okay. That's very nice of you. Opus is such a nice model. It's just like so great to talk to. It's a shame it's so expensive. Well, I'm just trying to make sure that I have this correct. Like, I feel like it would tell me if I was getting something off. I could be wrong, though. It's so insane that Opus 4.5 is the 4th most expensive. Because 5.2 extra high always is like 1 cent, but Opus is always like 2 cents with a response. I don't know, I mean, maybe you can rent some GPUs and fine-tune your own model. Be a good learning experience. And all... Rock is okay. I mean, it's not great at tool calling, but it was free on OpenRouter. Like... What? Yeah, like Rock Code Fast 1 was like free on OpenRouter for a long time, and so it's really popular. It's not 2, it's not 4. That's what I was thinking. But it could also be auto negotiation. I mean, yeah, if it says all devices support fast Ethernet. Yeah, okay. I don't think RSTP would fix this. I don't think it's these two. I feel like it's either 1 or 4. I mean, I feel like... Really? If a switch supports... The three-tiered network model makes use of mesh or partial mesh topologies to implement redundant links. Multiple paths are part of good network design, as they increase resilience. If one link fails, then the network can remain operational by forwarding frames over a different path. However, as a layer 2 protocol, Ethernet has no concept of TTL. So layer 2 broadcast traffic will continue to loop through a network with multiple paths indefinitely. STP is a means for bridges or switches to organize themselves into a hierarchy. The switch at the top of the hierarchy is the root. The switch with the lowest ID, comprising a priority value and MAC address, will be selected as the root. Each switch then determines the shortest path. Yeah, it's a good study guide. Each switch then determines the shortest path to the root bridge by exchanging information with other switches. This STP information is packaged as a bridge protocol data unit, BPDO. This STP information is packaged as BPDU multicast frames. Each switch then determines the shortest path to the root bridge. By exchanging information with other switches. This STP information is packaged as bridge protocol data unit multicast frames. A port that forwards up to the root, possibly via intermediate switches, is identified as the root port. Sure, ports that can forward traffic down through the network with the least cost are identified as designated ports. A port that would create a loop is identified as a blocking or non-designated port. Subsequently, bridges exchange topology change notifications if bridges are added or removed, enabling them to change the status of forwarding / blocked ports appropriately. Okay. So these two have designated ports because they're the root bridge, and the designated ports are the things that communicate with these RP. What is RP? A root port because it goes up to the root, and then designated port. And then this is a blocking port because it's blocked. So that's a designated blocking. Okay, cool. I see. Where's RSTP? Okay. I'm gonna do a typing test. .114 is pretty nice. This also isn't representative of my actual typing speed. Like if I were to do a quote, like it would be closer to 90. That's actually pretty nice. 65, you know, frankly, that's still better than, that's better than the average. That's better than average. Yeah, the average typing speed for most people is around 40, so you're 25 over the average. Oh no. You're below average, Rafi. It's over. For the Netherlands. I'm gonna do one more. I'm gonna do a longer quote. Semicolon. Yeah, see, if I do a longer quote, it's like in the 90s. Can you do a Dutch typing test? 71 on quote. That's pretty nice. Nice. English 450K. Maybe I shouldn't have done the longest one. It's kind of a weird looking language. This is such a long quote. It'll say at the end. Dude, this is so long. Bro, it's over. I want to finish the test so I can see my stats. Bro. This is so crazy. I'm in evil purgatory. I'm in hell right now. I mean, it's like dependent on the length of the quote. Oh, that's why you know the length. Because you looked it up. Okay. Toe passing. What is ZIJN? What does that mean? I see. Zid. How do you pronounce that? That was so crazy. Okay. Why did this think for 29 seconds? No, I can't. I can't. Sorry. I'm studying right now. Okay. Oh, instead of the A in Wanjana. This is super understandable. I'm being sarcastic. Okay. That makes sense. Sein. Like sein. Is it Zane? Okay, alright. I guess that works. Zane. I can't. Sein. Sein. That's crazy. I never make that sound. Provide redundancy for a critical subnet in the organization's data center. Ein. Sein. Like Sein? Sein. Okay, Sein. Okay, cool. Awesome. Sein or not Sein? That is the question. That was the joke I was trying to make, but I didn't know how to pronounce it. Sein. The configuration includes one router designated as the active router and two others as standby routers. The admin wants to ensure that when the active router fails, the router with the most resources available takes over as the active router. Oh, because sometimes the highest priority value is the one that takes priority, but sometimes it's the other way around. I'm gonna say the router with the least resources. Okay. Alright. I guess in HSRP it's the other way around. My bad. Switch port mode access command. Switch port mode access command. Can port mirroring be configured to filter packets? And then that would be half duplex. Then use RSTP. And then what does BGP use for its operation? I should know this. TCP. Yeah, isn't Java and C# very similar? Or quite similar? I guess one doesn't use the JVM, right? Is this really the C# logo? That's ugly. Oh, whoa, I see. So it's like, so like the sharp symbol, it's kind of like you had C and then it was like 4 pluses making a hashtag. That's awesome. Where is that from? Well, I know it's a musical symbol, but what it says here is it's like I played trumpet in high school. Man. When a port enters a... I had also heard of F#, but I don't really know what it is. Okay. That's crazy. Dude. Vaguely, yeah. Dude, it's over. Oh, I remember this. And troubleshooting cable issues. Gigabit Ethernet over copper wire. Would that be 1000 base TX? 1000 base T. You've caught me. You've got me. Oh, it's twisted pair. TX uses 2 pairs of wires instead of all 4. Okay, so 1000 base TX doesn't even exist. 100 base, yep. Okay. That's our tumble dryer making that sound. I mean, 2 and 4 are both correct. That's silly. I mean, 2 and 4 are both correct. I mean, they probably run Linux, which isn't like which is like a non-proprietary kernel, but like, it's a black box. You know, they're not open sourcing their, like, the Linux kernel is under the GPL v2, not the v3. You know. It's over. I have an IPv4 packet. The presentation layer, that's... Really? Do I search translates data? Bro, how am I supposed to... Presentation layer. Oh, ensures that the data is in a usable format. Sure, I know what you're saying. Like, it translates to whatever is needed. Why did I format the answers like this? Oh, it's because one of the answers was like a list within a list, and so I had to put them in quotes. Transport layer, so that would be IP, because there's physical data link and then transport. Least user hostile object-oriented programming language feature. I don't think it's 1, because that's like a presentation layer thing. I think it might be 2. don't think it's 3. The remote desktop thing should have been a dead giveaway. Do I have SM on here? Check this out. Isn't that sick? Yeah, it's SL. What if I turn on my stream audio? Yeah, it's SL. Wow, now it'll be like that iShow Steve clip where he keeps looking at his own stream and then it gets really loud. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, it's SL. Wow, now it'll be like I may have said SF. I could have said SF where he keeps looking at his own stream and then it gets really loud. You know what I'm talking about? Isn't this awesome? Yeah, it's SL. Wow, now it'll be like I may have said SF. I could have said SF where he keeps looking at his own stream and it gets really loud. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. It'll only get more awesome. Isn't this awesome? Yeah, it's SL. Wow, now it'll be like I may have said SF. I could have said SF where he keeps looking at his own stream and it gets really loud. Okay. Yeah. You have decided to conduct a business meeting at a local coffee shop. The coffee shop you chose is a wireless hotspot for customers who want internet access. Do I have it playing in the background the entire time? Okay. I don't know. I mean, you have decided to conduct a business meeting at a local coffee shop. The coffee shop. No, I normally have the stream muted, but I just unmuted the stream. Internet access. Do I have it playing in the background the entire time? Okay. I don't know. I mean, you've decided to conduct a business meeting at a local coffee shop. The coffee shop. No, I normally have the stream muted, but I just unmuted the stream. Internet access. Wow, this is awesome. Do I have it playing in the background the entire time? Okay. I don't know. I mean, you've decided to conduct a business meeting at a local coffee shop. The coffee shop. No, I normally have the stream muted, but I just unmuted the stream. Internet access. Okay, I'll stop. You know, not to imply I don't want you to study, you know, but it should be of your own fruition. I shouldn't have to annoy you away. Decided to check your email before the meeting begins. when you open the browser, you cannot gain internet access. Other customers are using the internet without problems. You're sure that your laptop's wireless adapter works because you use a wireless connection at work. It's something stupid. I remember it being something stupid. Like, like, something dumb. What indicates an incomplete ARP entry in a router's ARP cache? Oh, I closed out of the thing. I'm gonna check my phone. I guess I'll go back to studying.
An industrial control system provides mechanisms for workflow and process automation.
An ICS controls machinery used in critical infrastructure. Whoa. That makes sense. I've read this before. I think I got this exact question wrong and I looked it up. Oh, it's over. Oh god, I remember this one from yesterday. Oh, I see. It's like just like kind of confirming that a certain a certain thing can only have certain things associated with it. This is interesting. That's true. It was a little broad, I will say that. To make use of its physical layer adapters. Six, seven. We were on question 6-7 just now. Isn't that funny? It's like the meme. Dude. Why? Because you have to work with enums? Oh, I see. Yeah, maybe that's true. I mean, if you're talking about, it depends what operating system you're using. Wow, what does that mean? Oh, right, because it mentioned segments. Whoops, I remember getting that one wrong. Oh, I see. I remember, is Java 8 like LTS or something? Because I remember recently I had to update my Minecraft server to Java 8 to like Java 14 for like a support thing. Like, why don't people use Java 7, you know, or Java 9? I see. What made companies use Java 8? I see. No. Oh, whoa, that's crazy. Wow, they're calling it the slowest language of all time. Oh, I see. No, they're not calling it the slowest language of all time. I just know Java's kind of slow, and I know Ruby's kind of slow. No, I'm on JRuby right now. Oh, wait. I thought you meant like JRuby is like a synonym for Trevin Ruby. No, I don't know what it is. Truffle Ruby? Oh. No, I don't think I'm dyslexic. I could be. I don't think I am. Yeah. Maybe a web server and an email server. Because it mentioned segments, and then that would be 143 and 25, and that would be why are we going to use the example method? Wow, that's crazy. Oh, and a fiber optic network. It's NS lookup, right? It's dig? My bad. Wow, I keep getting these wrong. That's crazy. I mean, it is all stuff I've gotten wrong in the past, so it makes sense why I'd still get it wrong. I did know that. They're like cousins, right? That's true. so silly. I remember that from yesterday. I really want to host my own NTP server at some point. I think you need GPS, right? Yeah, how to build a Stratum 1 NTP server. Yeah, GPS module. Ultimate GPS breakout. Is this expensive? Oh, it's like $30. And theoretically, home labbing is so fun, dude. I actually recently, I can show this. We have some Arduinos at work at the engineering job. Look at this. Look at how convenient this is. Like, I'm able to just point my host folder to piehole.next, and it totally just like boots up a piehole Docker container, and it totally works. The syntax is just a little weird, but it's worth it. Look, watch me install SL. See, I just add it to my package list there, and then I do NixOS rebuild switch. I do need to change this. Look, and now I have SL. Isn't that wonderful? I don't know what through the pie hole means. Like, I have Home Manager, and so essentially, like, for my LCD user, this is how I set all my settings. So, like, for my ZSH configuration, I have, like, my history save size and, like, all my settings. Like, I have all my ZSH settings here. And up here, like, I install... Well, I think I installed it on my main... with a root, but, I install it up here in the Home Packages thing. Like, does Pi-hole host the SL program? No, because Pi-hole is, Can I show this? Yeah, I can. Because, Pi-hole is in... Yeah, rest in peace, NeoFetch. Because Pi-hole is running in a Docker container, and I'm on the host system right now. Like, this sets up, like, OCI containers, like virtualization OCI containers. It creates a thing in OCI containers called Pi-hole, and then, I just link the Docker image. I forward the ports. I do the volumes. I give it the web password thing, which is in socks. The thing that was impressive about adding SL was that I was just able to do it by adding a line to my config instead of doing like peru-ssl or doing like sudo apt install sl or something, right? It's easier to just add it to the configuration file. And the nice thing is you can move the configuration file anywhere and you have this exact configuration. Yeah, it's awesome. That is just Nix. Yeah, it's sick. I was just sort of gushing about how cool Nix is. It's over. The ports? If only you had Nick's environment, so you can like create a custom environment that just had the Java version you needed. If only. Yeah, alas. Oh, right, because it's asking about a home network. It's over. What? I meant to press 3, sorry. I don't know, maybe yours had a typo. Maybe slew? Ah. Okay, I think I'm going to be done studying now. I have to make a little food. I'm planning on going to bed pretty early tonight, and so I want to, I'm planning on going to sleep pretty early tonight so then I can have a pretty large, uninterrupted block of studying before work tomorrow. And tomorrow, I'm definitely not going to be reading the chat. Sorry, Rafi, you're going to have to text me on Discord or something, because tomorrow I'm really locking in. I'm not even opening the chat tomorrow, is the plan. Tomorrow morning. So I'm going to be going to bed early tonight. I'm going to be waking up, like going to bed early. I'm planning on going to sleep at around 6 p.m. so then I can wake up at around 3. And then the plan is to study for about 5 hours once I'm done exercising and showering. And then I'm going to go to work, which I have at 1 p.m. So I'm going to leave at like 12:20. Hold on. I have it on my phone. Yeah, so I'm gonna wake up at 3. I'm gonna exercise at 4. I'm gonna finish exercising at 5:10. I'm gonna shower at 5:30. I'm gonna finish my shower at 6. I'm gonna study at 6:20, and then I'm gonna finish studying at 11:20. And I'm gonna record my video and start getting ready and leave. Is the plan. So, yeah, I'm gonna have a sandwich, and then maybe watch some YouTube, and then start getting ready for bed. Yeah.